So I'm just going to show how to start up a JavaFX project. So as shown here, Java 8, 9, and 10 have JavaFX libraries bundled in them, but in Java 11, they were separated. So for me, on my installation, I have both 8 and 11. So I'm just going to show you, if you only have Java 11, then you'll have to download Java 8 to get the bundled in FX libraries. So, and then we have to do this special Java build project setup thing. So let me just flip over to Eclipse here. I just did a test one here. I'm going to make another one. So it's going to say new project. So new Java project. I'm going to call this Java FX project. Okay, so now here's where normally this might be set to Java 11. That's what mine is by default, but I switched it to running 1.8. Or you can, instead of just changing the execution environment, you can also just drop this one down. And I guess I also have version 12 here, apparently. So I could select this Java runtime environment 1.8. So if that's the case, then just make sure that you've selected this or above. Either one should work. And now you're ready to start your project. So I'm going to say next. I don't want to say finish just because it'll lead me right to the screen that I want to do the next step. If you hit finish by accident, you can come back and just edit the Java build path. So yeah, let's check here. So what's next is to go to this Java build path and set this access rule. So I can do this, or I can just, in the wizard here, go to the libraries tab. And you see now it has Java 1.8 for me here. Yours might have a different number on the end. It's just the subversion number. I can click on the rules and edit, and I can add a rule to allow or make accessible Java FX // Okay, so I put that in, and that rule gets added. I can see it says one rule there, and then I can hit finish. Okay, so yeah, going back to, going back to here. So we finished that step, added the rule, and on the next screen it shows us how to, well, we applied that. Now we can make our class with the main method. We can follow this slide where we basically just want to give it any name we want. Here's where we have to browse for this to make it a subclass of an application. So let's try this step here. Okay, so in this project, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to right-click the source, say new class. You can call it whatever you want. GUI driver just means it's like a driver class to start up a graphical user interface. Actually, out of habit, I just did that. But yeah, it's going to, if we follow the other screen, it tells us that we should name it, and then we can hit browse over here. Instead of the superclass being Java lang object, which is normally what you would do, we can search for JavaFX and .application. Application is what what we want to make. So we just type JavaFX application, we select that and say OK. And that is covering off this step where we've searched for that. As long as you're in 1.8, it should find it. That's the key, I think, for most people is going to be making sure of that. Yeah, and then we're ready. So we can just hit OK or finish. And here we go. So we got two methods, a main method, and then we have a start method. So I've already done this in the other one, but yeah, let's see what's next here. This is just telling us what the superclass is. Superclass is like you're inheriting functionality from JavaFX applications, and it just shows you the life cycle. So it launches, then it initializes, then it starts, and when it's done, you can stop it. So we're just going to work on the start and launch. So main method should run launch. It passes along args. So I'm just going to type launch, and I'll pass it along the args from the main method. And then up here, I'm going to add one thing just to show the stage. So here the argument is called stage in lowercase, that's the object, and it's of type or class stage. So I have that here. Mine happens to be called something different, primary stage. So I can just copy that, paste that, and say show. There we go. That's the one I want. And that's it. So if I run this, it comes up with a window that's absolutely blank, but that is awesome. That's the first step, and I think that's where most people were having trouble, but you can follow the tutorial from there and do a whole bunch of other fun things. It might be a little bit confusing at first because there's so many different components involved in getting this thing going, but once you've got the basic framework down, whether you understand it or not, you can presumably follow how to set a title and width and height. Just kind of follow that, and it will make windows that have different titles on them and different colors, and you can get as far as creating buttons and text boxes in here. So I know it may seem a bit confusing creating these objects, but in the end, really all you need to do is to kind of get a general idea for what it's doing, and then modify it to be doing the thing you want it to be doing. So hope that helps to get started.